This is a wholehearted recommendation for Marco Sieber, German teacher. Marco has been a great resource for me learning the language very quickly.
He helped me gain confidence when using German language in everyday life. And I always look forward to the new lesson knowing that it's gonna be fun and that I'm going to learn a few new things.
I'm having a very good experience with Marco. He's very good in explaining the language and the rules in a very easy and comprehensible way.
In a nutshell, Marco understands and addresses the pain points of the students and kind of works along with you and makes a plan that is efficient for you to learn German better.
Hallo liebe Leute, wie geht es euch? I'm Marco and I work as a private online German tutor. Are you looking to improve your German with private or group classes with 100% flexibility and tailored to your needs? You came to the right place, since I taught German in all levels on and offline since 2011. Stay tuned to see how I can help you improve your German, and stay until the end so that I can give you your first homework. Also, I'm going to tell you how to get a free of charge trial class with me. If you were taught German in a normal school system or even in online classes, you may are confronted with very common problems. You understand much more than you're able to speak, right? You're not sure how to use the cases properly, or to decline adjectives, or even how to put a simple sentence together? Are you? Well, then you came to the right place. I know this problem, and I solved it with so many students that come from all over the world. I also have a lot of private students who work at companies like the Boston Consulting Group, like the Six Group, like McKinsey, or even Nestle. They all came to me for one purpose, and that is to be able to speak. After 3,000 classes successfully taught and many happy students, I know that this is the major problem. Instead of tackling it, many schools just give you a bunch of vocabulary lists. You sit down and learn der Hund, the dog, die Katze, the cat. Well, guess what? It won't stick to your head. Know why? Because our brain doesn't work that way. In fact, the school system we went through might not know how to teach the proper way. This picture you see is after my refugees successfully made it through the integration course that I gave in 2016. It was really fun to teach them. My focus is to exactly solve that problem. I like to teach German because my students love the fresh and new approach of my classes. You know, it's actually just a matter of trying to find the techniques that work for you. If a method of one teacher doesn't work for you, then just try to find another explanation. You're not stupid. It is a sign that you need to find another teacher maybe that might offer different explanations for the same problem. And I'm one of these teachers and experienced enough to make the difference. So let's go back to the vocabulary list and check out how we can put dog and cat into a context. Okay, we need to put the single words into a meaningful context that is actually triggering both of your brain parts. So instead of saying der Hund and die Katze, you create a wider context in a sentence. And this could be der Hund frisst ein Leckerli. So the dog is eating a little treat. Or you could say die Katze schläft auf der Couch. Yeah, the cat sleeps on the couch. We learn through applying stuff to the real world and combining images and words together. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do at all times. In my classes, we will practice speaking, listening, writing, and reading, all balanced to your needs. And to conduct the classes, I use tools like Zoom, Skype, or Google Hangouts, even Cisco WebEx, and all the other apps that are convenient for you. And by the way, the study material that I use will be free for you, and I'm using well-known and authorized digital textbooks, Word documents, PDF, PowerPoint presentations, audio files and video files, and much more. On this page you see two examples how I conduct my classes. The one example is something that I have created with these refugees, or for the lessons with the refugees, okay? And it shows you exactly the simple sentence structure for an answer Okay, subject, predicate, object, and two versions of a question, being the first one a closed question where you can only answer yes or no, or an open question where you can ask in a wider context. For example, what do you drink? Okay, what do you drink? And I will exactly tell you how to use these structures for all kind of questions you want to do. And the next example is something that I found as an image just by Google search, and it explains you how you need to form your mouth in order to do these weird umlaut sounds like ü. Here you have it ü, ö, and ä. And how do you practice, and how do you come, and how do you practice, and how do you come to the actual pronunciation? Okay, so here we are on the screen of all my lectures, and as I said, these lectures are a combination of my own style of teaching, and of course I use authorized digital textbooks that are widely known, and I use a lot of pictures and a lot of diagrams just to show you how everything works. And here we have a very specific problem about the cases, and I established 4 rules for the cases. Yeah, so for example, when I click on Beziehungen, which is the relationship, you see that there's different kind of objects. Okay, so we have a direct object and we have an indirect object, and knowing the relationship of the object to the subject and the predicate. Yeah, so these two define the action, and we define who is actually talking. Okay, so the subject is er in this case, he, or ich. Okay, being I. And the sentence says, I give the teacher the book. Now it's very important to understand who or what receives the action that I just described. Yeah, I give the teacher the book, and the action is given to the book. Okay, I'm not giving the teacher to the book, I'm giving the book to the teacher, you know. And what I crossed out here, this is the indirect object, because it doesn't have a direct relationship with the protagonist and geben, okay, which is to give. I don't give the teacher to the book, I give the book to the teacher. And you know, usually I use 10 minutes in my classes to explain you new grammar things, and then we have a whole array of exercises. So there you go. This is all exercises here, and you know, there's a lot of stuff here, and you know, we go step by step. Okay. And as you can see, this document is huge. It has like more than 500 pages, and this is something that I use regularly. And it also tells me when I need to switch to a certain lecture in the book. Okay, so a lecture in the book, for example, would be this one here. This is for beginners, first lecture, and they get to know each other. There's listen comprehension, and of course there's exercises. So you know, you have everything with me that you're looking for. Okay, so let's switch back to the presentation. So these grammar topics are all wrapped into real life situations. I'm not trying to bother you with endless and boring grammar explanations. It's only 5 to 10 minute explanations, and then we apply these things to your own situations that you need to solve in your day-to-day life. My classes are interactive and very personal. We will do methods and techniques that work best for you. There's a set of activities like role plays, discussions, writing and correction activities, listening topics, video work, and even games, in order to get you close to the language and your goals. Especially games are a great way to learn and reflect your abilities, because they are direct, in-your-face feedback systems. We won't play all the time, but every now and then I think it's a powerful component for your learning process. And here actually you can see a game where you have a goal, and then you need to create sentences. You're triggered to speak, and we have a virtual dice that I can pull into the screen, and it's really fascinating how people react to these games, and even when you're not children, because I teach most of my students are adult people, but then adult people sometimes like to play as well, because it's nothing different, and as I said, it's like really a direct feedback system. That's why I like to do these. But keep in mind, we won't play all the time, okay? To immerse yourself with a new language completely, there are also techniques of passive learning without any vocabulary training that I will teach you too. If done right, you will not only be learning with me in the online classes, but you will have a set of techniques that allow you to enter a German environment whenever you want and without living in the German-speaking countries. Do you know how babies learn their mother tongue? They do it already in the belly of their mom. You see, the hip bones of pregnant women work as stereo speakers that deliver everything mothers say directly to the baby into the belly. They hear their fathers only as a faraway mumbling. But the mum, they can hear crystal clear. And then when they are born, they may start speaking after 2 years. That is roughly 2.5 years of only listening and observing the mother tongue before the toddler starts to just mumble random words. Then they get older, they go to the kindergarten, they interact with other children and start speaking fluently. And all is done just by observing and repetition. And then in the age of 6 or 7, they would start going to school, and after 1 or 2 years in school, they start learning about grammar rules of their own mother tongue. So do you see where I'm going with this? Children get 8 to 9 years time to observe, listen, and speak their mother tongue before someone tells them about grammar. And this is how I learned Spanish and Portuguese, just by observing, listening, speaking. And then I learned about grammar and how to write. In this picture you can see me in Ecuador with my indigenous friends, and with this guy I was touring through the pubs of Quito, drinking a lot of cervezas, but then also having this authentic lifestyle and being in the tribe of these indigenous people gave me a lot. It was not only about learning Spanish, although my Spanish experience accelerated just by immersing myself to local into the environment of local people, and this also is how I learned Portuguese, just by going out with people, having a Brazilian girlfriend, and also having just a good time, being around friends, being around people who appreciate my presence. And this is the mix that I recommend for you, taking classes that are guided, taking classes that are structured, but then also try to immerse yourself with as much as possible people who speak German. But in school, when they try to teach you a second language, they want you to understand grammar, speak, and write with the first day. So with me, you will enjoy classes that teach you how to speak by observation, discovery of new words like a toddler, and practice. And only when I feel that you can apply certain grammatical rules, I will actually teach you the rules. How does that sound? In the end of every class, you will get a homework from me. These tasks are focused on the things we discussed in class and help you to reflect and practice the learned topics at home, and when you have time, on a regular basis. It is also a great way for you to check on your progress. Also, when we see us back in the next class, I usually spend 10 minutes to check on the homework. This is a great way to enter into the class and also to give you a direct feedback. There's another feature that I would like to mention, and that is the immediate email follow-up. This email not only contains the chat so that you have new words and sentences discussed during the class at hand, but also it will contain the instruction for the homework the plan for the next class, and the study material that we used in class. Remember that I promised you to give you your first homework in this video? So here it is. Look for a picture link that you like and describe what you see on it in German. And write the sentences down. It has to be digitally. You can use a Word document or what you have. Actually, let me show you what I mean. So here on my screen, you see a picture of a woman. She's reading newspapers. She's quite relaxed. There's a lot of plants on her balcony. That may be 4th or 5th floor. She's drinking a coffee, and there's a couple of other elements that you could describe. Okay, so when you go ahead and want to describe a picture, I would always start with the protagonist that I see in the picture. So you could say something like Ich sehe die Frau oder Ich sehe eine Frau. I see a woman. And then you go on. Sie liest eine Zeitung. She is reading a newspaper. Now when you're a little bit advanced, these sentences can be a little bit more complex. You could say Ich sehe eine Frau, die Zeitung liest. Yeah, I see a woman who reads newspapers. And then you go on to each and every element. You can tell the colors of the flowers. You can say a lot of things in this picture, and then you describe it. Okay, describe it as somebody would only listen. Okay, he wouldn't see the picture. Maybe he's blind, and you need to describe the picture to him. Okay. And that's your homework. Now this task is very powerful because it helps you to visualize the sentence you come up with. And also, you will look for a picture that you like, maybe one that reflects your favorite thing to do. I want you to think about your hobbies and interests and be able to express them in German because your positive emotions help you learn the language quicker. And as I said, this is applicable for all levels. When you're advanced, then try to create more complex sentences. And for all beginners out there, easy, simple words make a long way. Okay? Try to look up the words for the items that you see in the picture. Try to put simple sentences together. And when you've finished, book a trial class in the link below. And we will analyze your homework during the class together. More about the trial class is coming up. My current students love the way I structure my classes, how I teach, and how I explain everything with patience. And here's what they say. So for example here, Marco is like a cool aunt. Thank you very much. I didn't know that, but yes, I can be patient, but I'm also kind of strict. You have to know that. But how else do you want to learn something? You can read for yourself. Very professional teaching, very clear goal of the course. And that's what I'm trying to establish in the trial class, by the way. We need to get to know each other in order to understand your goals and your motivation. Then we create a learning plan according to these goals,
I'm having a very good experience with Marco. He's very good in explaining the language and the rules in a very easy and comprehensible way. He's clear, makes a lot of examples, and is able to make a difficult language like German, I think, is easy to understand. Also, the approach he used is very practical and based on day-to-day life, with like explaining pictures and taking examples from the daily life, which helped me a lot to understand and increase my skills in language learning.
Marco is a very relaxed and easygoing person, but at the same time he's very well organized. I enjoy working with him because most of the time in classes we simply chat about the things that I find interesting, so I'm not even aware that I'm learning the language. He helped me gain confidence when using German language in everyday life, and I always look forward to the new lesson knowing that it's gonna be fun and that I'm going to learn a few new things.
This is a wholehearted recommendation for Marco Sieber, German teacher. Marco has been a great resource for me learning the language very quickly, and I've been conversant after about a month working with Marco. So I recommend him heartily, and if you want to learn German, Marco's your guy.
Hi everybody, my name is Abhishek. I've been taking German classes with Marco for more than 4 months now, And what I can tell you about Marco is that he's very structured, organized. He has a plan for every class you do with him. He's very persistent about completing your homework, and that's really good because you kind of progress in the next class. He encourages many questions, which is good for learning. In a nutshell, Marco understands and addresses the pain points of the students and kind of works along with you and makes a plan that is efficient for you to learn German better. So I would thoroughly recommend you to sign up with Marco and go ahead with your German learning. So good luck and have fun learning German.
Before I tell you how to get a free trial class, I would like to summarize your benefits if you take the classes with me. So for example, I'm an experienced native teacher. There's learning techniques that really help, that we will apply. I told you about the cooperation of the companies, and I do know there's private group classes just to reduce costs a little bit. There's satisfied students, and there's a free trial class. And then actually here's just another learning material that I use. It's good to explain the spelling, and you can create whole sentences by combining, for example, Nase and Ohr, the ear. So how do you combine this? So just by looking at these pictures, you can do a lot of things. This trial class is not only there to check your homework, but to check your level and to create a learning plan based on your goals. I of course show you more examples of the materials that I use, and of course we get to know each other. You will receive a price list with options for private or group classes and different packages and discounts. You can then decide if I deliver the value that you're looking for. Scheduling any class is very flexible and based around your daily routines. I also do group lessons which reduce the cost for each student, but I would like to keep the group very small, so usually 3 to 4 persons, so that everybody gets as much practice as possible. So how can you get a trial class with me? That's easy. Do the homework and book the trial class down below in the link. I would be more than glad to meet you. Together we will push your German to the next level. That's the end of this video. Thanks for watching, and I'm really looking forward to meet you in class. Tschüss, bis zum nächsten Mal.